Welcome. In this video, we're going to discuss creating parts in Sibelius. First, we'll talk about cues. In this example score, the violin introduces the piece with the pickup measure and all of the other instruments enter on the next downbeat. To add the violin introduction as a cue into the other parts, we're first going to select the full measure of the violin introduction. Then we're going to copy it, so Command C. Then we're going to select the first measure in all three other instruments. That's because we want the cue to be added to each of these parts. Then up in the Home tab, we're going to look where it says Paste and open the menu right beneath Paste. We're going to look for Paste as Cue. Now you see that this violin part has been added to all three parts, but it's gray. What gray means is that when we export the full score, these cues will be invisible. But when we export individual parts, they'll be able to see the cue. We'll look at that in a little bit. Okay, next thing, we're going to actually create the parts. To do this, we're going to look for this plus button right below the ribbon. So hit the plus button and you'll see all of the individual parts. So when you click on, let's say violin 1, it's going to add the violin 1 part as a tab in this menu bar. So we've added the violin 1 part. Now we'll add the violin 2 part. Note that we have the pickup cue, and it's orange because it's only visible in this part. And we can add the other parts as well. Now, let's say that these parts weren't here for whatever reason when you clicked this plus sign, or let's say you want to create a custom part with more than one instrument. To do this, we're going to go to the parts menu in the ribbon. We're going to click new part, and then you can create custom parts. So let's say we want a part for just the violins. We're going to select violin 1, hit add to part, violin 2, add to part, and hit OK. Now we have a custom part with violin parts. To switch between parts, it's just all these tabs. I think we already said that. Okay, check this out. If you notice in your parts that something is out of place or any of the formatting is wonky, you can click and drag things to reposition them. So in this one, I noticed that the tempo marking was not quite at the beginning of the score, so I moved it a little closer so it aligns with the first note. So now notice that this text is orange. What this means is that I've modified the position of this text in the part, but when we return to the full score, it will be in its original position. You can do that with most objects in parts. So a couple more things. When you save the Sibelius file, the file will include the full score and all of the parts in these separate tabs, so there's no need to save a bunch of separate Sibelius files. When you go to export a PDF, you have multiple options. So go to the File tab in the ribbon, go to Export, and choose PDF. Now we can take a look at all of these settings that we've probably ignored up to this point. The first one is score only. Obviously, you probably use that already, and that will just export the score and it forgets about the parts. You can also export the score and all the parts in a single PDF. Another setting that's useful is score and all parts in separate files. So there are many more options, but those three are very useful. I hope this tutorial was useful. Good luck on your projects.